Welcome to the High Grab Podcast. I'm CBW.
And Callum.
And we're doing one of those remembering videos. I didn't think we'd be doing podcasts. I didn't think we'd be doing one of these for a while. David
I know,
Prowse.
to be honest, I'm getting quite sick of them now.
Yeah, same here. For the record, we only do these ones for people that we actually like. We're not one of the few. It's just a shame that there's so many of the good ones this year. David Prowse.
Yeah.
The original Darth Vader himself.
What more is there to say?
Yeah.
Darth Vader is past.
And
the body, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, he got really, it wasn't really treated well by Lucasfilm. I mean, he was the one that was accused of leaking a script for Jedi, and I mean, you got that documentary, I Am Your Father. That's good. It goes into detail about it. And of course, Elstree 1976 about the costumed actors in Star Wars. But to me, David Prowse is always going to be the Green Cross Code Man.
Yeah, my dad said that as well. I think that's a sort of certain generational thing, isn't it? I don't think it was really around when I was a kid.
No, it was
that advert. It may have.
It was 70s and 80s, and it was like you'd see him as Darth Vader, then you'd go, oh, it's Darth Vader, it's David Prowse, Darth Vader. I mean, and it's kind of like you got someone that's the bad guy, and then you've got someone that's teaching kids to cross the road, playing someone that teaches kids to cross the road. It's so cool that he's both. I mean.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I mean, he will always be known as being the greatest, in terms of looks, the greatest villain in cinematic history. At least.
Yeah, hands down. I've always said he is. And there's also other stuff like the stuff he did for Hammer, where he played like the Frankenstein monster, and he was also got a cameo. Well, not a cameo, but like a scene in Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
Which is pre-Star Wars, actually. So.
And he was in the episode of Doctor Who.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably one of those sort of, because he's a big guy. He looks good in like costumes and in the background, or as like an antagonist.
Yeah. I mean, I was lucky enough. I mean, I've ever met him 2 or 3 times as when you could literally fit the entire Star Wars community into a theatre, basically, for the 80th anniversary of Elstree, and he introduced the films, and I'm sure he did a convention a year after as well. We're talking over 25 years ago, so it's.
I was just about to say, what year was that?
I know 94 because I found my program from 94 for the 80th anniversary of Elstree, so it was definitely 94, 95. This is when they didn't have the official Star Wars conventions, and the geeks, we were still in a small hidden community,
underground.
Yeah, I mean, pre 97 Star Wars. I mean, the special edition is 97 and everything, and 99 was Phantom Menace. So you're talking a real, doing the convention circuit when there was not many people there compared to, especially now with Star Wars conventions, and it'll be interesting to see if David Prowse gets the recognition that he really did deserve now.
But it'd be criminal not to, really. I mean, surely George Lucas can't still keep like this grudge going after the guy's died. I mean,
no, there's been stuff attributed to him on the Star Wars website, so it's sort of like, and I read one thing, because I think there's too much negative energy when you read all the posts on the on a lot of the fan base, because a lot of them at the moment are really toxic. But it said someone saying about George Lucas is giving him the recognition, and you get all the people pointing out that the fact that for all so long that it wasn't. But I don't want to go down that path right now, because this is a tribute to David Prowse. He was scary, growing up when you were a kid, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, I grew up with these movies, but it's he may have been the guy under a helmet, but he was still the body of Darth Vader. He was the one with Princess Leia and Carrie Fisher and Tarkin, Peter Cushing. I mean, in those scenes on the Death Star in the original, I mean, superb. I mean, all the performances, all 3 of them. So.
Yeah, I mean, he's one half of the Darth Vader sort of, I don't know, like performance, isn't he? Because I mean, obviously you've got James Earl Jones as well, but yeah, like you say, I mean, if it was just a disembodied voice, it wouldn't be any good. It's those two things that go together. Like, I always think this scene for me, even though there's not that much, there's more like sort of movement. Is the fight in Empire? You know, the I Am Your Father fight.
Yeah.
Just the gestures that he makes are just so like. It wouldn't look the same with someone else doing it. You just nailed that look and that sort of the movement that Vader has.
Even though he was doing it, the I Am Your Father bit was done to a fake script. The dialogue was different, and they still managed to piece it together.
Wasn't it Obi-Wan killed your father or something?
Yes, yeah.
That would have been interesting.
That would have made all the Jedi's liars, which they, from a certain point of view. I like, for me, it's always Commander, tear the ship apart until you found those plans and bring me the passengers. I want them alive. All that bit. And
when he storms off afterwards.
Here's one of the greatest openings and reveals in cinematic history. Just the way when he walks through the ship.
Yeah.
The Tantive 4 blockade runner. So yeah, coming to finding that out on Sunday morning really was a bit of a
Yeah.
So
that's how many is that we've lost now from the original trilogy? That's 3, isn't it? 4
of the central characters. We've got Peter Mayhew, Carrie Fisher,
Kenny Baker,
David Prowse, Kenny Baker, David Prowse, Peter Cushing. And that's just the central ones. And
he would have had a link with Peter Cushing with Hammer, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like you've just got of the central ones. You've just got Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and Anthony Daniels left.
Yeah.
Which is but it's you got if I just want to say check out documentaries I Am Your Father and Elstree 1976 and go on YouTube and just watch the Green Cross Code commercials.
Yeah.
They are public service announcements. Sorry, they're good. They really are good. So
there's that I Am Your Father documentary. I really would love to see the scenes they filmed with him in the, where the mask comes off at the end. Yeah. I'd love to see that. If it ever got released, or bootlegged.
It's all vaulted until Lucasfilm. I mean, and Disney give it. They should do. It would be interesting. It would have been nice to have him be in the reveal. It would.
Yeah.
They could have still dubbed his voice, but it would have been nice to have seen him under the mask.
Yeah, because we never really. I don't think we see his face at all, do we?
No.
Unless there isn't, is there?
No, and he doesn't even play any other characters. It was just Darth Vader. I like how he had a choice of either playing Darth Vader or Chewie, and he picked Darth Vader because Darth Vader was more memorable because everybody remembers the villains.
Yeah, I mean, it's no slower on Chewie, is it? No. But Peter Mayhew, obviously, I think he might have looked a bit too tall to be Vader, maybe.
Definitely.
He just suits being Chewbacca, doesn't he?
Oh, he is Chewie, and I tell you, just to go off a little bit, but Peter Mayhew sitting down. I met him in Down. I do know that was '96, and that was Watford. And sitting down, he was still taller than me when I'm standing up. And
he's a big guy.
Oh, he was. He was really.
Wasn't the whole story about how he got the role that he just stood up, basically?
Peter Mayhew or David?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. Because he was a toilet. He was a porter in a hospital.
Yeah, he was a porter, wasn't he? And I think George Lucas saw him sitting down, and he said because he was British, his first instinct was to stand up to shake hands, and he went, "Oh, I think we found him."
Yeah. I think David Prowse was a champion bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Trainer, trained them people. So he's.
Was he a Mr. Universe or not?
Let me find out. He entered weightlifting contests. This is a good thing about IMDb. Remember the old days when we'd have to go through film books. It says, according to IMDb, it was complications from COVID-19.
Oh, that sucks.
That was, Let me have a good trivia. Former weightlifting champion, trained Christopher Reeves in the role, for the title role of Superman. Green Cross
Oh, I didn't know that.
No, owned the gym, the Dave Prowse Fitness Centre, with his brother managed. His brother Bob Prowse used to manage him before opening his own health club. Played a strongman in the famous Wishing Well sketch from the first season of Benny Hill's show. You can go on IMDb and find. He is the only actor to play Frankenstein's monster in more than one Hammer film: The Horror of Frankenstein and Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell. 6'6" tall.
Wow.
Yeah. So rest in peace, David Prowse.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what other image would you remember more than Lord Vader?
Exactly. He's. I think I'm on. Vader's on everything Star Wars. Even when they turned Anakin into a child killer, they were still using the Darth Vader imagery there, and they still do to this day.
Or even the scene in Revenge of the Sith. I know he's not in it, but when the suit goes on Hayden Christensen, like, you still get that chill, don't you, because of who it is.
It's Darth Vader.
Yeah.
And David Prowse is the original and the one all performances were based on. So whenever you see the suit and see someone else in the suit, it's got a bit of David Prowse in it.
Yeah, definitely. It's a bit like the Christopher Reeve Superman situation, isn't it? Like, you can't picture anyone else playing him.
No. I mean, if you look at with 3PO, when they tried other people in the suit, no one could play 3PO other than Anthony Daniels. Peter Mayhew was on set to help out with Jonas when he took over because of health. So
didn't he do some sitting down scenes? Whenever Chewie's sitting down, it's him, isn't it?
Yeah, some of it.
I'm sure I read somewhere.
Yeah, he is in 7, but for 8 and 9, he was on set for 8. I'm sure of it. But they've lost. Yeah. So we'll have to do something more Star Wars soon, But So David Prowse, again, rest in peace, CVW.
Yeah, I'm Callum.